Are you concerned about how a shift in the real estate market can impact your business? If so, this is absolutely the video you're going to want to watch. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you how to prepare for and thrive in any kind of a market recession or a market shift. Take a look. Hey everyone, Kevin Smullin with 2Q Lead Generation Strategies. If you are brand new to our channel, welcome. We're so glad you're here. What we're all about is helping real estate agents just like you generate more leads, set more appointments, and close more transactions. So if that is what you're after, leads, appointments, transactions, this is the place to be. Please consider subscribing to our channel. We'd love to have you here as part of our community and be able to share that information with you. Before we get going in today's video, in the description down below, you will find a link to our Facebook Masterclass. It is a free training that is chock full of all of our best practices of what we've learned about how to generate leads, set appointments, and close deals. So again, it's totally free. Check that out. It is time absolutely well spent. Now, in today's video, what we're going to be talking about is we're talking about how to make sure that your business is prepared for a market shift so that you can, survive and, more importantly, thrive during these times. If we go back to the recession of like 2008, 2009, there were a lot of agents who got out of the business because they just couldn't survive. They weren't doing enough business and they just couldn't feed their family, and it just wasn't a way for them to make that work. But like you, I know people who during that time, their business actually grew. And so today what I want to be sharing with you are ways that you can prepare for and make sure that your business thrives if there is any kind of a correction. Now, I am not an economist. I don't have a crystal ball. I have no way of knowing whether things are going to go great or whether they're not. So this is not so much a video about what's going to take place because I have no idea. This is more a video of how to make sure that your business is more bulletproof, so to speak, so that you are ready and prepared for that kind of a shift. So let me share 3 different tips with you to help you get prepared. Tip number 1 is you want to make sure that you've got a sales pipeline that you are building, maintaining, and communicating with. When is the best time to build a sales pipeline? Well, the answer to that question is yesterday. Now, the next best time to build a sales pipeline is today, right here, right now. See, if you have not put systems in place to where you have a pipeline of potential customers, where you're repetitively keeping in touch with them and communicating and following up. If you don't have a pipeline and you don't have it systematized, this isn't part of your business, then you really need to commit and make sure that that is part of it right here, right now. Again, I mentioned those agents who during the 2008, 2009 recession, agents who grew their business, a lot of them had that happen because they had a pipeline. They knew who was going to be doing business 2 months, 3 months, 5 months, 6 months, a year from now. They had built this pipeline, stayed in touch with those people, and when the time was right and the person came out at the other end, they were the one that the client wanted to do business with. So this is the first way that you can really insulate your business and create some consistency is by building and maintaining a sales pipeline. So that is tip number 1. Tip number 2 is you've got to think about what happens during a market correction. So again, if we go back looking at like 2008, 2009, sure, there were a lot of factors involved with that. But at a simplistic, economy, discussion, there tends to be a shift when we have higher supply and lower demand. What we've been facing, especially in most parts of the country for the last few years, is we've had massive demand and very low supply, which just makes prices go up and up because there's very few homes available. Buyers are offering more than asking price, and all that does is just drive prices up. Well, what we're starting to see in today's market is homes are staying on the market longer. You're seeing that there's not as many multiple offer situations. You're starting to see a lot of people put their home on the market at a certain price, they're not getting any kind of activity, and then they correct the price and come down. So lots of price reductions. So what ends up happening as we continue to shift is we get to a point where there is more supply and demand is lower. So there's not as many buyers as there are for the homes that are currently on the market. When that transition takes place, the perception that a lot of people have is they think that transactions just dry up and nobody's doing business, but that is completely false. Regardless of what is going on in the marketplace, there are always transactions that are occurring because it is a transfer of wealth. See, the truth is, with this market shift, this is a prime opportunity for you to position your business in a way where you can be part of that shift, part of that transfer of wealth. See, when conditions like this occur, where we've got a lot of homes on the market and not as many buyers, what kind of transactions are taking place? Well, think about that for a second. Investors tend to use these times to build up their portfolio, right? If for them, they kind of view it as, wow, this is a fantastic opportunity to buy a home at a discount that I couldn't have done previously. So investors might be a very viable way, depending on how conditions go, that if we swing very much towards a buyer's market where there's lots of homes and very few buyers, if we shift towards that, then investors could be a very great client for you during a time like that. So it might do you well to start building some relationships with investors now. Again, doesn't mean you have to be working with them, but it just provides you an opportunity and an outlet should things change. Again, this is all about preparation and thriving. If you can find great deals in those opportunities, investors are going to want to snap them up just like they want to snap them up now. It's just they get to do it at a discount should the market shift. So that's the second thing that you can do to prepare and kind of insulate your business is start building relationships with investors. It could be an opportunity in the future. You might also want to think about some opportunities with commercial real estate. Some of those opportunities may be very viable should the market shift as well. The third tip is you've got to think about how you want to position your business from a marketing perspective. So the tendency is when a lot of people get to this stage where the markets start shifting, they start viewing marketing as an optional expense. And so they start retracting, they do less. And what ends up happening is the trend is so many agents pull back and they're not doing as much as they used to. And so their business shrinks, right? At a time when they should be doing more marketing, they're doing less. So to kind of put that in perspective, I was talking with a friend of mine last night, and he was telling me about someone he knows he's a mortgage broker in the Phoenix, Arizona area, who is taking this opportunity that as agents are pulling back and not spending as much money on marketing as they once did, he is doubling down and expanding what he's doing. So he's purchasing additional leads from places like Realtor.com and Zillow and lots of those lead generation companies. And he's trying to buy up as many of those opportunities as possible to kind of have exclusivity and lock people out. But in the process, he's spending about $30,000 a month. I know that's a lot, but he's got a vision of what he wants to accomplish. So he's building up this massive pipeline of thousands and thousands and thousands of leads that he's going to be able to follow up with, divvy those leads out to the real estate agent of his choice that he wants to work with. And it really is creating, again, this insulation, this stability for his business should something massively happen in the marketplace. So the third tip is you really want to take this opportunity to double down on what you're doing marketing-wise. Instead of retracting, which is what so many people are going to start doing, this is an opportunity where if you spend money, you're actually going to be able to get more for your buck just because there are fewer people out there marketing, less competition. You can kind of dominate the market share just for a lower cost, per transaction than what it would normally cost just because there are fewer people. Again, so many people are going to start pulling back. I'm starting to see that already. And this is a time where the opportunity is to double down and do the opposite of what everybody else is doing. So I am shouting from the rooftops and advising all my clients, the ones who want to listen and can listen. Again, if you want to be doing more business and you want to position yourself in that way, this is absolutely the time to double down rather than pull back. So those would be the 3 tips that I would offer for anybody to help prepare them and make it so that they can thrive if there is any kind of a market change. Number 1, creating a sales pipeline and constantly maintaining and building trust with those people. 2, you want to make sure that you are viewing other opportunities. Start looking at potential investor clients, looking at potential commercial opportunities. Again, as markets shift, there's always opportunities. It just changes. And number 3, you want to make sure that you're doubling down. This is the time to increase what you're doing from a marketing perspective rather than pull back, because so many people will pull back, and that's what's going to create a much larger opportunity than there might have been otherwise. So that is what I would recommend for anybody to make sure that they are prepared and thriving if there is any kind of a market change. So that is today's video. If you found that helpful, take a split second, click the thumbs up button down below. We appreciate your support. Also, if you haven't subscribed to our channel, please do so. Click the subscribe button down below. Also, if you click the little bell notification right next to that, you will be notified every time we put out a brand new video. And we put out new videos like this every single week that will help you grow your business. Also, if you are curious about the services that we provide and you want to know how we can help you build that sales pipeline and make sure you've got constant flow of opportunities, make sure you look in the description below. You'll find a link where you can find more information about the services that we provide. So that is it. Make it a great week. Keep crushing it in your real estate business. As always, if we can help, let us know. And other than that, we will see you on the next video. Take care.